We are here outside University of Toronto, Mississauga campus, and on behalf of TAGTV, we are covering Tom Mulcair's rally to support Mississauga NDP candidates. We are joined with Ali Naqvi, who's a long-time supporter of NDP. Ali Naqvi, you are candidate for Mississauga East Cork, and what's your hope for this rally for change?
Well, the people in Mississauga East Cooksville are not only ready for change, they are seeing the change at their doorstep. We are getting a great response at the doorstep. People are resonating with the message of hope and optimism. They are feeling the change. They are going to go out in the advance polls. They are going to go out on October 19 and bring the change. This is for the last 148 years. We have had the obsolete ancient governments of the Liberal Party and the Conservative Party. And this time around, people want a new choice. The new choice, the new Democratic Party of Canada.
My name is Michelle Billick, and I'm the candidate for Mississauga Erin Mills, which is this riding where we had the rally this evening. I'm actually a 5-time candidate. I've ran 5 times for the NDP, and I first got involved when I was a teenager, and have been working with the party ever since, and working to grow the momentum. And 5 elections ago, it felt very different when we went door to door. It was a very difficult thing to do, when you're only getting about 10% of the vote back then. And now I'm going door to door, and I'm hearing, everybody's ready, everybody's wanting change. And, we really do believe that Tom Mulcair and our plan will actually move us in a direction to a better place for all of us to live in. Are you ready to bring change to Ottawa? Are you ready to defeat Stephen Harper's Conservatives? Woo! Are you ready to elect Tom Mulcair as our next Prime Minister? And it's my pleasure to introduce you to the NDP candidates who will be heading with me to Ottawa. And when I call your name, please stand. From Mississauga East Cooksville, Ali Naqvi. From Oakville, Shay Marvell. From Brampton Centre, Rosemary Keenan. From Brampton North, Martin Singh. From Brampton South, Amarjeet Singh Saga. From Brampton West, Adoma Patterson. From Etobicoke Centre, Tanya DeMello. From Burlington, David Laird. From Cambridge, Bobby Stewart. From Aurora Oak Ridges, Richmond Hill, Brenda Power. From Markham Thornhill, Cynthia Chawa. From Milton, Alex Anabusi. And from Moulton, Diane Douglas.
And one more special person, my close friend, the candidate for my riding, Brampton East, Harpreet Singh Kalon. And now, please give a big welcome to 2 more amazing candidates who will be defeating Conservatives on October 19th, Farheen Khan and Fayaz Karim.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Fayaz Karim, and I will be working hard to defeat and replace Brad Butt in Mississauga Streetsville.
And I'm Farheen Khan, and I'm working to defeat Julius Tiongson in Mississauga Centre.
If there is one thing I'm hearing over and over again on the doors of Mississauga Streetsville, is that people want change in Ottawa. That's why I'm so proud to be running with a leader like Tom Mulcair. Tom is a leader who not only knows where he stands, but has the courage to back up his convictions with action. And there is no better example on this than with the leadership he has shown on Bill C-51. A bill that is fundamentally undermines the civil liberties of each and every Canadian. Tom led the charge in Parliament and across Canada to highlight the fundamental problems with this bill, and Canadians from all walks of life and from all political stripes applauded his leadership. But we can't say the same of other leaders.
The leader of the third party, Mr. Trudeau, claims that he had serious reservations about the bill and that it is fundamentally flawed and that he opposes C-51. But at the same time, he decided that he would vote in favor of it and that he would force his entire caucus to vote in favor of it as well, because he, quote, said he doesn't want Mr. Harper to make political hay of the issue, end quote. Shame. It's a failure of leadership to say that you oppose C-51 and then support it, only because you're afraid Stephen Harper will criticize you for it?
Shame.
When civil liberties are being threatened, that is not the time to retreat. That's precisely the time to stand your ground and take on Stephen Harper. It's nothing more than a hollow, cynical gesture to claim to defend the very rights that you're voting to undermine. It's a failure of leadership to fall victim to every fear you're accusing Stephen Harper of spreading, and it's the perfect example of why here in the GTA and across Canada, you can trust Tom and the NDP to stand up and defeat Stephen Harper. Now join us in welcoming a leader who stands up for his principles, who stands up for the middle class, who stands up for Ontario families, the leader of the New Democratic Party, the next Prime Minister of Canada, Tom Mulcair.
Hello, Mississauga. Great acoustics in here. Are you ready to bring change to Ottawa? Are you ready to replace the politics of fear and division with the politics of hope and optimism? Are you ready to defeat Stephen Harper? Well, that works out well because we're ready too. I just wanted to say that we have an incredibly special guest with us here tonight. Sitting beside my wife, Catherine, is Doris Layton, Jack Layton's mom. Thank you so much for being with us here tonight, Doris. It's an honor to have you here. This is my second visit to this great city in the past couple of weeks, and you know what? It's our second rally in the region in the past month, and things couldn't be going better. I've met an incredible team of candidates tonight, and watch us go on October 19th. And just like here in Mississauga, I can tell you that no matter where Catherine and I travel in this election campaign, one theme has emerged loud and clear. That after 10 long years of Stephen Harper and the Conservatives, Canadians are ready for change. And it's easy to see why. It's the economy, plain and simple. Middle-class families are working harder than ever, but can't get ahead. Incomes are flatlining and household debt is skyrocketing. Post-secondary education and training for our young people is being priced out of reach for far too many. 2 out of 3 working Canadians do not have a workplace pension. Today, there are 200,000 more out-of-work Canadians than before the last recession. Stephen Harper is the only Prime Minister, when you ask him about the recession during his mandate, he has to ask, which one? Because he's going to have more than one. We've lost 400,000 good-paying manufacturing jobs on Stephen Harper's watch, jobs with enough of a salary for a family to live on. And the few jobs that are being created are mostly part-time, low-paid, precarious jobs. That's Stephen Harper's economy for you. This is measurable. It's not a question of opinion, it's a fact. As Prime Minister, Stephen Harper has the worst job creation record since the Second World War and the worst economic growth record since the Great Depression. That's not economic stewardship. And you know, for months now, every time the facts were to the contrary, Stephen Harper has claimed that the economy is A-OK, that there's nothing to worry about. But suddenly, today, he urgently called up the Governor of the Bank of Canada. Well, Mr. Harper, you may have been blind to it, but Canadians have known for some time that your plan just isn't working. Depuis des mois, Stephen Harper tente de nous convaincre que tout va bien dans l'économie, il n'y a aucun problème, sauf qu'on a appris aujourd'hui qu'il a placé un appel d'urgence au gouverneur de la Banque du Canada. Monsieur Harper, ce que vous venez de démontrer là, c'est ce que tous les gens dans cette pièce savent depuis un bon bout de temps, que votre plan économique ne fonctionne tout simplement pas. On est dû pour un changement à Ottawa. For the first time in our country's history, current generations will be worse off than their parents. I don't accept that as inevitable. In this election, only the NDP has the experience, the leadership, and the plan, and the team, to defeat Stephen Harper and repair the damage he's done. We have a plan to kickstart our economy and strengthen the middle class. Yes! As Prime Minister, I will get our economy going with investments in infrastructure and transit to create local jobs and cut commute times for Mississauga residents. Gridlock is not only inconvenient, it's costing the economy billions. In the GTA alone, gridlock costs at least $6 billion in lost productivity each year. We'll start by transferring an additional cent of the existing gas tax. This will ramp up to an additional $1.5 billion annual investment by the end of the first mandate to help stabilize long-term funding for infrastructure. This measure alone will help close the infrastructure gap, decongest our highways, and create jobs right here in the GTA. But we also know that we need to make serious investments in public transit if we're going to tackle gridlock. An NDP government will partner with cities by creating a new public transit strategy called the Better Transit Plan. Working alongside the provinces and territories, our 20-year plan will invest $1.3 billion annually. That's money for every municipality with transit needs. It will be predictable, direct, and transparent, and our plan can create more than 31,000 middle-class jobs in construction, manufacturing, and transit operations. So, I say this to Mayor Crombie and every other mayor in the region. With an NDP government in Ottawa, you will have a stable, long-term partner on infrastructure and on transit. Now, we also believe that it is time to reward the hard-working small business people in Mississauga. Small businesses create 80% of all new jobs in Canada. To help small businesses hire more employees, the NDP will reduce the small business tax rate from 11 to 9%. We'll also strengthen the middle class. I believe that every young family with children should get the support they need to enter the workforce, and every child deserves access to early childhood education. That's why an NDP government will help Mississauga parents by introducing affordable, quality, $15 a day childcare. This is not only good for families, it's good for the economy, and that's why I'm thrilled that across the country, boards of trade and chambers of commerce are in support of the NDP's plan for childcare. Now, the Liberals promised childcare in 4 straight election campaigns and failed to deliver. The Conservatives promised childcare spaces in the last election, and they too failed to deliver. The NDP will get the job done for families once and for all. Now, for many families in Mississauga, help with young children is just one part of the story. In many families, parents aren't only supporting their children, they're also taking care of their aging parents. It is unacceptable that nearly 200,000 seniors in Canada live in poverty. To me, these are not statistics. These are our moms and dads. These are our grandparents. These are the everyday heroes who worked hard and sought nothing more than to make their children's lives better than their own. They worked to give their children the opportunities they needed to succeed in life. Which of us would find it acceptable to see our own parents or grandparents live their senior years in poverty? I believe it's time to tackle seniors' poverty in Canada. That's why, earlier today, I announced that an NDP government would make a meaningful first step in lifting 200,000 seniors out of poverty in Canada. We will tackle seniors' poverty by increasing the guaranteed income supplement, the support program that goes to Canada's most vulnerable seniors. Our commitment, once fully phased in over the next 4 years, will see a $400 million annual increase to the GIS program. Now, we will also repair the damage Mr. Harper has done when he increased the eligibility for old age security from age 65 to age 67. This misguided priority will cost seniors on old age security up to $13,000 and threatens to push thousands more seniors into poverty. This is just wrong. That's why we will immediately roll back the eligibility age from 67 to 65. Chers amis, on ne peut pas accepter que plus de 200 000 de nos aînés vivent dans la pauvreté ici au Canada. Pour moi, il ne s'agit pas seulement d'une statistique. Ce sont nos mamans, nos papas, ce sont nos grands-parents. Ce sont des héros de tous les jours qui ont travaillé fort pour que leurs enfants aient un avenir meilleur. Comment peut-on supporter l'idée que nos parents et nos grands-parents vivent leur retraite dans la pauvreté? Il est temps d'agir concrètement pour changer les choses. C'est la raison pour laquelle j'ai annoncé un peu plus tôt aujourd'hui qu'un gouvernement du NPD allait prendre les mesures nécessaires pour y arriver en augmentant le supplément de revenus garanti, le programme de soutien qui vient en aide aux aînés les plus vulnérables au Canada. Il s'agirait là d'une première étape importante pour aider les 200 000 aînés qui vivent en situation de pauvreté. Nous allons aussi réparer les dégâts causés par Stephen Harper lorsqu'il a fait passer l'âge d'admissibilité à la pension de la sécurité de la vieillesse de 65 ans à 67 ans. Stephen Harper n'avait aucun mandat pour faire ça et ça prouve qu'il n'a pas les priorités à la bonne place. Cette décision coûtera jusqu'à 13 000 $ par année par retraité qui reçoit la pension et en ferait sombrer des milliers d'autres dans la pauvreté. Comme Premier ministre, je vais renverser cette décision et je vais ramener à 65 ans l'âge d'admissibilité à la pension de la vieillesse. My friends, Mississauga and the NDP share the same values: hard work, community, and ensuring opportunity. We believe that our youth must get the opportunities they need and our seniors get the benefits they deserve. These are the very same values that I learned when I grew up in Laval, Quebec, a community very similar to Mississauga. Both communities are just outside large urban centers. Both started out as rural communities, and after years of population growth, these communities became vibrant urban communities in their own right. Today, Mississauga and Laval are home to longtime residents, as well as new Canadians building better lives for themselves and their children. And so I say this to every voter in this region. In this election campaign, if you're looking for change, the NDP has the experience, the leadership, and the team to replace Stephen Harper and get Canada on track. My friends, in my 35 years of public life, I've learned a thing or two. In my time around the cabinet table, I've been front and center for the difficult decisions that are made in government day in and day out. My beliefs and values stem from my upbringing. My family story is that of millions of Canadian families. Growing up the second oldest of 10 kids, okay, maybe that part's a bit different. Colleen, Tommy, Peter, Jeannie, Danny, Debbie, Sheila, Maureen, Kelly, and Sean. That was 10 of us. We had to work for everything we had. It was not easy. We worked hard, played by the rules, and lived within our means. We learned the importance of looking out for one another, of sticking together, of backing up your principles with action. These are the values that guide me as a husband, as a father, and as a grandfather. These values have guided my 35 years of public service, including as a cabinet minister. These are the values that will guide me as your Prime Minister. My friends, our offer to the people of Mississauga and all of Canada is clear. A government that stands up for middle-class families and the communities where they live. A government that grows the economy and creates stable, full-time jobs while protecting the environment. One that does indeed ensure that young people get the opportunities they need and our seniors do get the benefits they deserve. We'll build that Canada where democratic traditions are respected at home and our reputation as a country is respected abroad. Where we do replace fear and division with hope and optimism. A Canada where everyone belongs and no one is left behind. My friends, we're closer than ever to building the Canada of our dreams. As in Quebec in 2011 and Alberta just last May, people in Mississauga and throughout Ontario want change. But we have a lot of hard work to do to get us there. It's time to roll up our sleeves and take our message to every corner of this great city. Each and every one of you will have a role to play in this election campaign. Knocking on doors, signing up new volunteers, engaging your neighbors and people at work. So tell those neighbors that quality, affordable childcare is just one election away. Spread the word that reduced commute times and help for small businesses is just one election away. And tell your friends that with just a handful more seats starting right here in Mississauga, we will defeat Stephen Harper and build the Canada of our dreams. Are you up for it? Are you up for it? So let's get to work and get the job done. Thank you so much. Merci. On continue.